Hi, welcome to my channel. This video is all about the end, not the middle. Stop trying to manifest the middle and how to sort of get around that and work with that, because we as human beings have this real problem with how is the middle going to happen. So we start manifesting it, as in trying to manifest somebody saying this or somebody saying that. We want to get here, but we lose sight of here. We lose sight of the end result and we're just messing around with the middle, and that is what stuffs things up, because that is what is saying to reality, to the universe, you don't know what you're doing, universe. I need to take over. I need to take control. I need to hold on to this. So you end up holding on to the middle for much longer than you need to. If you go to the end, I'm not talking about living from the end. I'm going to talk about that a bit, but that's not really what I'm saying. But the end goal is all that you need to focus on. Don't focus on the middle. It will drive you crazy. So how do you do that? Do I mean you need to live in the end? You need to walk around pretending that you have that end result? And no, I don't mean that at all. And I don't do that. I can do that more now if I wanted to. I believe I could do that, but I don't really do that. But it's just a focus. So you look at what you want, you decide what you want, you get real clarity on your outcome that you want. You feel it, you feel the clarity of it, and you think, that is what I want. That is all I need to focus on. If I start focusing on the middle is where I'm going to end up staying, and you will just manifest more and more bridge of instance, it to go on and on and on before you actually get to that goal, if you even get to that, because you spend so much time dwelling in the middle part. And the middle part is not for us to dwell. It's not for us to dwell in the middle, because how do we know? If we start telling the universe what it needs to do, then it's just going to go, okay, and we're not going to tell it with any real pure intention. It's going to be messed up with circumstances, so with resistance, so it isn't going to be pure. Now imagine if you don't mess around with the middle. You haven't got that to worry about then. That is down to the universe. That is down to reality to show to you in whichever way. You are then opening up all of the doors of possibility that way. If you try and micromanage a manifestation, I really feel you'll get stuck in that middle part, because I've done that and I've been stuck in the middle. I've been stuck with the bridge of instance, and we don't want to be stuck with the bridge of instance. We want the outcome that we want. Now, the best way to get that is not by keep imagining the outcome over and over and over with any form of resistance. If you were doing that with no resistance whatsoever, that will be fine. If you're just doing it for the sake of imagining it because it makes you feel good, that is honestly the best possible way to manifest. The huge things that I've manifested, some of the huge things I've manifested that I've done with imagination only and no resistance, have been so exactly as I can't even tell you, and that's because there's been no resistance. There's been just an enjoyment of the feeling of it, and it feels good, and you get that. So it's been called several things. I spoke to a client the other day who was explaining how Neville would call the feeling of kind of like an explosion that you get when you get that sort of magic feeling. And then I thought about that after, and I thought, that's like Richard Dotts says, because you guys might know that I love the author Richard Dotts, calls it the magic feeling, and I think that's the same thing. And to me, I've always called it the buzzy feeling, the buzz you get from something. It's that. Once you've had that, it's a done deal. And unless you go back in there and tell reality that you've changed your mind, you have to really have that powerful feeling with that change of mind as well for that. I've found, because I have found things have manifested really, really quickly when that's happened, and you almost don't have time to go back and change it and to change your mind, to change your path. You're sort of already on that reality line then and going that route. So the middle is not your area of expertise. That is not for you to mess around with. Because like I said, you will hold yourself there, or maybe you'll go off a bit down this route and a bit down that route, really off track of where you're going, unless you're doing all of that with zero resistance and enjoying it. But even still, I think I would still say clarity on what you want. If you're going to visualize and you feel no resistance, visualize the outcome, not the middle stuff. Because the problem is, when we decide how we want the middle to happen, we give reality one route, and that's that. And then what happens is, not that it can't take you down that route. If there's no resistance, it certainly will. But we then give ourselves resistance, because we then feel that we've narrowed our field of vision, so to speak. We've narrowed that opportunity. We've just given it us. We've kind of made it difficult, I suppose, by just giving it this one option. Whereas if you leave it to reality, then it can bring that to you in so many amazing ways that you would not even imagine were possible, that you would not have even considered as a way that this could come. And I say this again from experience, where I have manifested things that have seemingly gone so way off track and such a weird way around, and then they've happened bang, just as I had imagined them. You know, they've turned out just as I've wanted them to. But I don't ever mess around with the middle now. It's just not something that I do. And if I think something is unfolding, I don't pay too much attention to it. And I was talking to a client who actually was saying that actually documenting the process, was it a client? It might have been a friend actually that I was talking to about documenting the progress, the process of these, the sort of seemingly significant instances, and oh, that's happening and that's happening, just to see how these things pan out. I don't do that because I prefer not to pay too much attention to it, because the danger with me would be that I would go, okay, it's happening now, and kind of get too focused on that bridge of instance, again losing sight of the end result and kind of moving it down the line. So I would smile to myself when something happens. I think that's interesting, and I would see it as interesting. I would give it a little bit of momentum with a little bit of a thought about it, but then I wouldn't give it too much attention after that point, purely because it's not my job. I'm letting whatever this is do this part for me to get me to the outcome that I want, or to give me the opportunity of the outcome I want. That is the key here. We get mostly the opportunity. We could then stuff that opportunity up, but it doesn't matter, we'll get another one. Or we could get there and change our minds and not want it. Or, you know, it's the opportunity of the thing that we want that we get more so than the actual thing. Unless, sometimes it's money, isn't it? Money just comes to you through amazing kind of sources, and you think, what the hell? That is actually, you've got it. So, but I have noticed with things like people and career and that kind of thing, the opportunity presents itself to me, and it's up to me whether I take that opportunity and run with it in the right way or not. All you need to do is focus on the end. That's all you need to do. And not too often either. Even if I've just focused on the end once and then it's happened, you know, and not given it too much thought. But again, I have noticed that when I have visualized things without any resistance whatsoever, those things have happened quite quickly for me and really on point. But because often I have done it with no actual intention to manifest it, I've known that something would be nice, and I've just found myself drifting into the visualization of it, and probably I've been guided there to do that, and I've done it, and I've just enjoyed that, and I've got that buzz feeling from it, like I would say, or let's call it the magic feeling, because that kind of sounds better. Got the magic feeling, which is like this rush of like, ooh, I can't even really explain it. It's a funny feeling, and maybe it feels different for everybody, but it's a real kind of boosted momentum, and it doesn't really last that long. Richard Dotts talks about holding it for longer periods of time. I don't ever bother with doing that. When I get the feeling, I think, that's it. Part of me will think, is it? But not now. Not now I've gone into my new state, which I've spoken about in one of my other videos. I don't even have that, maybe not now. Don't have that at all now. Anyway, so I'm not going to talk about this too much more. Do not worry about the bridge of instance. Don't get involved. As long as you know that you want it to happen in the most harmonious way possible, let reality do whatever it's going to do for you. Give it all of these ways that it can do it. Open everything up to it so it has this huge, it allows this huge window of opportunity. You are not limiting yourself in any way. You are not focusing on the middle. You know what you want. That's all you do. And if you like affirming and you like doing anything towards that, that's absolutely cool. If you feel resistance, don't do it, like I said, but if you enjoy it, then do it. Okay, thank you so much for watching.